Hey everybody, and welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I'm Paris the Pokemon.
Yes, I had forgotten the name of that Pokemon.
Okay, good. I'm glad you can at least get one deep cut.
Oh my goodness.
After all this time.
Now, see...
We're finally on the same page about one deep cut.
Well, that's not quite as deep a cut as Boruto.
Is it? I don't know about that one.
Because Paris, I think everybody knows that reference, if they've watched Nozaki-kun at all.
I mean,
right?
You don't know that.
Right?
Yeah, but if you've heard of Naruto, then you've heard of Boruto. Like, come on.
Sure, but then you had to make that leap to Umazaki.
You said that wrong. Uzumaki.
Uzumaki. Sorry.
You just have to know the name of Boruto's dad.
Sure. Yeah.
Not hard to do. And sorry, I'm eating popcorn because I just got off of work and I'm hungry. So you're going to have to deal with some popcorn.
So I'm just going to Google Nozaki Paris and instantly all the memes.
Yeah, and if I look up Boruto...
In fact, it's on Know Your Meme. Anyway, what have you been up to?
Let me go to Google. No, hold on. I got to prove my point now. So if I go to Google and I look up Boruto, the first non-sponsored link is Boruto Uzumaki. So, Dakara.
So what have you been up to since last we spake?
When was the last time we talked? I don't even remember.
The last time we talked was when we did the season preview, which is when you laid down that gnarly reference.
Oh, that's fair. Well, that would have been after Christmas, wasn't it?
It would have been, yes.
I did finish up Double.
And how did you find it?
Good. Would recommend. Would watch again.
Oh, good. Are you going to watch it again? Like immediately?
No.
And if not, why not?
I mean, what do you think this is? Do you think this is frickin' Forza or something?
Yes.
All right.
Watching anything else? Like what has taken up Dabadu's space in your life since then?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Well, we play video game. We've been playing board games, and what else? We've caught up on 9-9.
Oh, good. Someone's trying to drag me back into playing Go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not going well. As normal.
Go is hard.
Go is very hard.
Go is not an easy game. It's like decision paralysis, the game.
Yeah. I also started, well, actually, I'll get to that in a minute. One thing I did since last we spoke is all the recommended shows, except the Mummy one, I watched one episode of, at least.
So what did you think of all the shows we recommended? Were they good picks?
There were a couple good picks, I will not lie. The one that we were really excited about, the Kokkuko, that's choice. That's the one where they stop time.
Oh yeah. Is it like actually good choice, or is it like choices in like
no? It's
we made like
no. It's
the
like
worst
actually a
decision of all
good
time?
choice because I have no idea what's going to happen,
cool.
And we were correct in our assumption that the entire show takes place in one stopped moment. So it's pretty cool. Some pretty cool time stuff. I also watched an episode of the Trigger Show.
The Trigger Show? Oh yeah,
Darling in the Franxx.
Sure.
The way I can describe that is, do you remember how Trigger looked at Precure and was like,
yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. And so they made Kill la Kill. I think
wait, hold on, back up.
Hang on. So I think what Trigger did is they were like, hey, you remember that time our old company made that mecha show, that weird one, is it Evangelion? What if we did the same thing to that we did to all the magical girls? Yes, let's do that. And so they did.
Well, there you go.
I'll just I need to show you something. So the pilots of these mechas, they're on their plug suits and such, right? As you would expect. So they got plug suits, but there's two.
Sure.
There are two pilots per mecha, and there's always a boy and a girl.
Oh, that sounds hot. I'm for it.
Hang on here. Let me show you a thing. So I want you to imagine that if you had a boy and a girl in a cockpit and Trigger was doing this, what would it look like? I want you to picture that in your head.
If a boy girl were in the cockpit?
Yeah, of a mecha.
I mean,
piloting the mecha.
It would be extremely scandalous.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it would exactly be Double's luge. It'd be Double Skeleton is what it would be.
I want you to think about it.
It would be Double Skeleton. No, I already did. It's Double Skeleton.
All right. Is it this?
I love that just as much. I also Also, I love the subtitle that this frame has because it's 100% what you would want it to be. Hold on, I need to send this to a friend because again, this is brilliant.
Yeah. This apparently happens in episode 2, which I didn't get to.
That's great.
My wife accidentally went to episode 2, and she had to explain this to me, and I was like, that can't be. She's like, no, the boy's standing up, as you would sort of expect, and he's holding on these handles, which sort of come out of the girl's butt.
Of the girl's butt. That's great. Why would you do this?
And the girl is down in front of him on all fours, as you would expect. And this is Trigger.
This is the best, worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Trigger. So I don't know if I'm going to continue, because when the mechas power up into beast mode, in Evangelion, they just went nuts. But here, they just grow boobs.
I was going to say, do they get horny? And the answer was yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
100%. I am behind the show.
Oh, dear. Scandalous. Let's see. The only other show I watched of note is the Shogi show.
Did you watch the new show by KyoAni?
I did.
How is it?
So imagine did you watch Black Lagoon?
Yeah.
So imagine you had Black Lagoon, but that happened in the past before the series started. And Revi has been taken out of that, and she's lost her memory, and now she's a moe blob. Except done in KyoAni style with all the effects. So it has potential. It's very pretty. I will not lie. It is very pretty. But it's also
they are the best.
War-torn heroine tries to find a new life, I guess. And their feels.
That has been kind of done to death.
I know. But KyoAni's doing their own thing. So the Shogi show. I was expecting, and I was not expecting. I was hoping there to be like Hikaru no Go, hey guys, look at this game. There's a plot going on, but also we're telling you how cool the game is because look at this game. Yeah. It's really hard, etc., etc., etc.
That's usually how they go.
Yeah. This one is, there's a plot happening. Sometimes they play shogi and they don't tell you anything about it. And worse than that, it's a lolly harem.
You mean better than that?
So
what you're saying, this isn't as good as the poetry card show?
No, it is not as good as the poetry.
That poetry card show is supposed to be really good, which I have not seen.
I actually watched more episodes than I wanted to because I was like, okay, they've already set up the characters. They're terrible characters, but okay, at least maybe they'll get to shogi because she has to participate in a tournament to pass her entrance exam. And instead of telling us things about the game, they were just standing in the corner going, oh, she's in the lead now. Oh, this is looking bad now. But never saying why.
Oh,
they're just
so
telling
it's not
us.
doing that thing every sports show does.
Right. It's not a sports show.
That means that sweet baseball anime video is better than this show.
Yes, it is. And that's very sad to me. So I guess I still have to keep waiting for a good shogi show. Someday, maybe.
Wasn't there a good one not too long ago?
There have been a couple. There's one called March Comes In Like a Lion, which I think
that's the
is
one I'm
done
thinking
by
of.
the...
That's supposed to be really good.
It's done by the same lady that did Honey and Clover.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good. I mean, I've not seen it, but it's supposed to be good.
Well, I just got on the Wikipedia page, and this one-liner at the top says, the manga has commentary by professional shogi player on the rules and culture.
See, that sounds good.
That sounds much better than this.
Yeah. That's supposed to be a good show.
I should just watch that.
I've had it on my soft watch list for a long time, and I've just not.
There's another one called Shion no O, which looks more like a Akagi-ish. Well, softer than Akagi. Like maybe...
Akagi, maybe?
Yeah.
That word that you are pronouncing in a way to make
Akagi?
me hate all life?
So it's somewhere between Akagi and Saki.
Why do you
somewhere
hate
in the middle.
You do know I just listened to like a no sleep thing that had like a body pillow in it, and I had to listen to all of the pronunciations about their waifu. Okay, like look,
okay.
I'm already scarred. Please don't test my patience.
My apologies.
Good, you should.
Don't watch the lolly show because it's just a lolly show.
I mean, that's only a bad recommendation if you don't like lolly shows.
I suppose.
So just throwing that out there.
Are you a fan of the lolly shows? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I won't say one way or the other.
Good choice.
Is there a femme-leading androgynous yandere?
Yes.
Oh, well, you should not. Then I love it.
It's
best show.
It's his like slightly younger training partner, who's essentially his sister. Like, they're not blood related, but essentially his sister. And she's called the Ice Queen. She hates everyone, and especially hates his new protege because she's adorable. So, how dare he take on this protege?
Send me pics.
Send you pics. There you go. Those are the characters. You got your protag there in the middle. You got your lolly up to his right, and you got your yandere on his left.
Yes, please. I got it. Love this show. Down for it forever. I will hear nothing bad against it ever again. She even has a little ice thing on her. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Love it.
Yep.
Fund it. Fund it. We'll watch.
Is funded. You can watch.
Best show of season. 100%.
You have at it.
And it's not Moira though. So what do you do?
It's not. So this season of Aniki, we're trying something different, and that is we're going to actually cover an entire series in one show.
This seems like an ill-advised idea on multiple levels.
And yet you're the one that chose it.
Well, such that it is.
So it is.
Well, no, I was the one that said, if we do that, how about we make it every 2 weeks?
Yeah. We're going to be doing this now every 2 weeks, but we're going to be covering an entire show each week, or each episode. So there we go. And the first one we have is... Should I try to pronounce this in Japanese?
Oh, Gekkan Shōjo Nozaki-kun?
Yeah.
I mean, that's real easy.
Yeah, but I couldn't do it off the top of my head.
What happened in the past week and a half that made you fail miserably at Japanese pronunciation? Who hurt you?
Go hurt me.
That's legitimate. I will buy that as an excuse, and we can move on.
So yeah, we have watched. We watched Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, or Gekkan Shōjo Nozaki-kun.
Monthly Girls makes it sound really dirty. Monthly Girls would be like the name of it's like Shonen Jump.
It is Shonen Jump.
It would be like Shoujo Jump. Shoujo Jump. If you were to not translate, what's the word? Not transliterate. What's the phrase? Localize. Nope. Yes. No. Yes. No. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess it's localized. If you were to localize the show, it would be like Shoujo Beat Nozaki-kun.
A little bit, except the official English is Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun.
Girls Nozaki-kun.
Yeah, I can't help that. Well, it is a delightfully hilarious show about a dude who makes manga for girls.
It's so good. It is based off of a Yonkoma comic.
Really? I did not know it was based off of Yonkoma.
Oh, it's so good. The Yonkoma is so good.
I thought it was like a normal graphic novel.
Nope, Yonkoma.
That makes everything make more sense.
Yep, super Yonkoma show. What's good is that like it doesn't fall into the trap of Lucky Star, where it's like, let's have one Yonkoma joke take 15 minutes.
No, that's bad.
It was bad. That's why the first couple episodes of Lucky Star were garbage. I mean, I know we can't all do Azumanga, but like, come on.
Or Nichijou.
Nichijou. Or Nichi Bros.
We need more of both of those in our lives.
It's true.
But Nozaki-kun follows our protag, who is Chio Sakura, who is a high school girl who wants to go out with this great big monster of a man, Nozaki-kun.
She is a fondess.
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 The setup is she tries to confess to him the first... What?
No, nothing. I'm just remembering it, and it's making me happy, and I'm trying not to laugh because it's...
Like, the very first scene of the show is she's trying to confess to Nozaki-kun, but she can't get out the word ski. Instead, she's like, Fandes.
I am a fan of yours, which is a great way to confess that you like someone is, hey, future wife, I'm a big fan of what you got going on. All of that you got going on, I'm a fan of that.
So you would expect in this charming scene taking place at sunset in a school, he would reciprocate or something. But instead...
It sets up the whole show because it just sets up the show with a trope subversion off the bat. Because he's like, I know what you're asking for. Gets out a marker, a pen, a pad, and he gives her an autograph.
Which was not what anyone was expecting, especially her.
No. And it's an autograph signed Yume no Sensei.
turns out he makes the most, well, not the most famous, but a famous shoujo manga that she and pretty much everyone she knows has read.
Yeah, Let's Fall in Love.
Let's Fall in Love. And he just assumes that she really likes his work.
And he has figured out, and she has figured out that he writes it.
Yep.
Because most people don't know. Because in his own words, he tries to tell people, but they just think he's kidding.
I mean, I would.
He is the author that was told that he knows the heart of young women. It's fantastic. I love Nozaki. It's so good.
So she ends up
so good.
She ends up becoming essentially his little helper.
She does beta,
which is inking in a bunch of stuff, like doing all the black work in the manga. Yep. She doesn't know how she got into the situation, but all she knows is she can be near her Nozaki-kun, and hijinks ensue.
So she lives with it. It's so good. It's so good. Over the course of the series, you meet more people who are either helping Nozaki-kun or people that Nozaki has used as inspiration for various characters in his manga. And hilarity ensues. It's very much... One of the things that's really nice about it is, unlike a lot of the more recent shows that dive into like manga culture and anime culture and like make fun of the industry, this one's not like super inside baseball jokes. It's just like, here's shoujo trope subversion and character-driven comedy. And
it's not only just like, it's not a straight parody of shoujo culture, because it
fully
embraces it.
Yeah, what's nice about it is it does that thing where you can tell it's so good at making fun of it because it loves it so much.
And you've got that dichotomy between Nozaki writing it and his love of writing it and finding inspiration in all the hijinks that go on around him, and everyone around him subverting all those tropes in real life.
Oh yeah, it's so great. Like his main character you learn this in episode like the second half of episode 1 or something, or very early in episode 2, so it's not much of a spoiler. The main character of the manga is Mamiko?
Yeah.
Well, we find out that Mamiko is based off of a person who draws the flowers for his manga, who is like a cool type boy that goes to their school.
The beashiest of boys.
Yeah, the beashiest, like most like self-confident, like you would think like the prince type.
Yep.
But the female protag is based off of him because he really says super cool stuff and then instantly gets embarrassed about it. And he's just so moe if you like actually get to know him. And that's why he's based this off of it's hard to describe.
He's so delightful. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, it's 2 big thumbs up, and you should definitely go watch it.
As long as you know just enough about have you seen some shoujo shows? Okay, then you're ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Have you read like one shoujo manga? If so, you're good, because it doesn't get too in the weeds about like how the industry works.
No.
Which is really nice.
It's like just your typical romantic setups.
Yeah. It's much more of a sitcom that uses the manga industry as a backdrop.
So you haven't watched it yet, go watch it now, and then you can come back and listen to us spoil everything. You can consider that your spoiler warning, because now we're going to spoil everything.
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot to spoil. It's not the most plot-driven show.
It's not the most plot-driven show, but talking about some of the stuff does lessen the impact of some of the good jokes, especially in the first half of the show. So one thing I want to talk about is the theme.
The theme is great.
The theme is great. When I originally watched this, it was one of the only shows that I would listen to the theme all the way through every single episode.
Yeah, both themes are really good. Of course, you have to. One thing, we should have done this before the cut. One thing that's super important about this show is you have to watch to the actual physical end of the episode, because there's a bonus scene after the credits. There's an after credit scene in every episode.
And they're usually delightful.
They are really good. They tend to recap it in a short way as the cold open of the next episode, but it's not a complete one-for-one.
So I don't know if it's the same band, but the theme sounds like the same band that did the opening to Death Parade. It's like in that same vein.
Excellent question.
And it makes me happy.
I guess it's by Masayoshi Oishi.
The theme song?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see here. Anime staff positions. Okay, here we go. We got you. Diamond No Ace. Handshakers. Kimono Friends. He did the op for Kimono Friends.
That's delightful.
Kimono Friends, I guess. He did the Overlord theme. But he did not do Death Parade as far as I can see.
Oh. But it does sound very similar.
It does.
Same vein.
Agreed.
I love it.
Makura no Dashi. I don't know this show. It looks like some BL show.
Ugh.
It's about body pillows.
No, thank you.
Yeah, all right. Sure.
I'm done.
We'll watch later in my own time.
So one of the things I really love about this whole show is, like you said, it overturns your expectations at every single turn.
Oh, like every turn. It's so good.
And especially in the character types.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first up, you got Nozaki, who is a shoujo artist who, as you say, knows the hearts of young women.
Yeah, knows the hearts of young women everywhere.
He's completely inept at women flat out.
Maybe there's a going theory that he's super. So throughout the show, Sakura never ends up confessing to Nozaki-kun,
Right.
Ever. So he never actually knows that she likes him. But, you know, either he is that dense or he is messing with her a lot. And it's hard to really know.
He does troll his friends a lot.
He trolls all of his friends an awful lot. Now, that can be read two ways, which is, one, he is dense because he's so single-minded. If something doesn't have to do with his manga, he tunes it completely out.
Like, he can't even go on a nice dato.
Yeah, he's an extremely self-interested man in a great way.
Well, like, one of the best times I think we see that is during the quote-unquote dato, where he has a day off and he goes off with Chio or Sakura, and, you know, they go to the shops. He's just looking at clothes, thinking, I wonder if this would look good in my manga. I wonder if this would look good in my manga.
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
Sakura, could you put this on so I could take pictures of you?
Could you please put on all these clothes for me?
While in the shop. Completely tone deaf
His
to
choice.
how this looks. But the best part of that was when they go into the doll shop, because she's like, let's go to the doll shop so you can have dolls to actually put clothes on instead of me. And what do they find there? Mikorin.
Mikorin looking at Bishoujo statues, because that's what he's into. That's how he lives his life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Also, the part in the show where Nozaki and Mamorin write the fanfic for the
helper.
That's one of the best gags
It has to
in
be, yes.
any show ever. It is so good. Such a great gag.
Oh my goodness.
So they're playing an eroge. Well, a date sim. They're playing a date sim. And they realize that the poor helper character has given up so much of his life for the protag.
Yeah, just to help him get a date with one of these
Just to help him
girls.
get a date. And they're like, he deserves someone. He deserves to get somebody at the end of this. And they go through and think about, what would he want? Who is he giving up the most for? Who does he really want to hang out with?
It turns out.
And then they come to the realizing, it must be the protag. He's been gay for the protag this whole time.
And they pull an all-nighter
like-
to write this.
To write this doujinshi. And it's like, wow. He gave up the best years of his youth for a protag like us.
Oh, Tomoda.
It's choice.
Oh, Tomoda.
It's choice. It's so good.
So yeah, Mikorin, getting back to overturning expectations, you've got Mikorin. I don't even remember his real name.
Oh, I have no idea.
But, you know, he's the typical bishi. He's got the hair, he's got the eyes, he's got the smooth talk, and all the girls fall all over themselves for him.
Well, because he has such great one-liners, right?
But it turns out, every time he says those, he's super embarrassed that he could ever say something that cheesy.
Oh, yeah. He immediately falls apart.
He is not self-confident at all. He needs to have
all.
constant praise. Otherwise, he just gets depressed and hides in a corner.
He's the type of person who praises somebody just so he can hear the same praise right back.
Yeah, and he'll sit there expectantly until you tell it to him.
Yeah.
And I love Sakura for just doing the most patronizing, wow, you're so cool. Yeah, thanks for helping me with this. You're so amazing. Yeah, thanks. Let's see. We have Seo, who is the big...
I love Seo.
She's the most athletic person in the school, and she's super cool and super athletic and very tomboyish, but not too tomboyish. She's still got the hair and she does girly things. But she's also horrible at everything.
At everything because she's miserable. She cannot read the room. She can read no one. She is rude because she simply doesn't notice anything around her.
Yeah, she's like, well, it's obvious that this is the case, and now she's insulted everyone who is present.
But she's an excellent singer.
She's very good at singing.
The Lorelei of Glee Club.
Which leads to hijinks.
I mean, everything leads to hijinks.
And one of my favorite characters, I think my favorite characters
Is it the human golden retriever?
the human golden retriever. You mean the president of Drama Club?
No.
No.
The girl that he likes.
Yes, I was getting to her.
Maybe she likes. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's the best.
If I had my favorite hierarchy of characters, I think it would be Sakura and Nozaki, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
And then the next one, it would be a hard toss-up between Mikurin and Kashima, because Kashima is amazing. Kashima is the school prince. Like, girls flock towards Kashima all the time. Super suave, knows all the lines to melt all the girls' hearts, but she's also a chick.
Yep. She's so good.
And super violent.
And has no idea how to show affection towards people she actually likes.
Yeah, it's an open secret that she likes her senpai, who is the president of Drama Club. She's in Drama Club, and she keeps trying to like do nice things so he'll notice her.
But it's all terrible.
They're all the worst. My favorite thing that she did to emphasize this was he was finally acting, and he was so happy because normally he's the director because he's so short. And she's like, he's so happy, but I'm always playing the prince, and he's playing the part of the princess in these line readings. What if I gave him the clothes to like actually become the princess? So she starts leaving girls' clothes in his locker.
I don't know. I think my favorite troll move is just in the last. Is this the last episode? Yeah. Where they're talking about like what they did for Valentine's Day, and she was like, "It's Hori Senpai, right?" Yeah. Hori Senpai does not want homemade chocolate, so I went to the store and found a chocolate, and I perfectly replicated it homemade, and I gave him my homemade version. That way he secretly hated the thing. He secretly ate the thing that he hated. And they're like, do you love this guy, or do you like hate him, or do you like hate his guts forever? Like, that's like so sinister, but it's so like,
It's so her.
so much extra work.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. All these characters are like that. Like you expect them
So
to
choice.
get into these situations and have a certain outcome, but they're always reversed, and sometimes double reversed, and there are occasions where it's triple reversed,
Oh yeah.
and it's great.
V good. Highly recommend.
I also like the way that the whole show, like we talked about, it's a send-up of shoujo manga while still being loving of the thing.
Oh yeah, like it's super like is for shoujo manga. It's not belittling it at all, which is really nice.
But what I really like about it is it uses the manga that Nozaki's writing to like inform the rest of that episode. So for example, there's one episode, I think it's episode 6, where they start out in Nozaki's apartment talking about what he's writing. He actually says, this chapter I'm writing right now, it's all about the secondary characters. And then the rest of the episode is all about the secondary characters of the show.
You know, I hadn't really noticed that, but I'm for it.
It's great. I love that kind of stuff. Only issue I have with the show is that the first half of the series is really great because you don't know any of the characters yet. So finding out all these new things about how they are not the way you would expect, they're all just so delightful. But it loses that edge towards the latter half.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would agree. The jokes don't feel quite as fresh the second half.
So it does have that sort of weakness, but it's still delightful.
Oh yeah, no, it's still super good. Go by the Yonkoma. Yonkoma V good.
Now here's a discussion.
There's 9 volumes, yeah?
Let's talk about the relationship between Nozaki and Sakura. Is it an actual romantic relationship?
I mean, it kind of is. It's definitely like a high school crush type scenario. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, from her perspective, obviously.
Oh, well, I have no idea. I mean, the very end of the show gives you another like giant tease.
Yeah. Let's talk about the end of the show, because the end of the show, they're having the festival, and
Because of course you do.
that's what you do.
'Cause you have to.
You have to, and they're doing the fireworks, and Sakura and Nozaki are finally alone. While a firework is going off, she finally says the word
Skides.
Skides.
Yeah.
And he looks down at her, and he says some words, which we don't find out what they are until later, after the credits. And here's the question, because he repeats himself, but we don't know if what he's repeating is the exact same thing as what he said and she didn't hear.
I mean, that's true.
So he leans down and says, I feel the same. I also love fireworks.
I also love the fireworks. And again, like, it's impossible to know if Nozaki is just trolling her so hard or what.
I know, right? In the same instant, she is crushed and then just starts laughing out loud because
that's all she can ever do.
Because it's like, this is just who he is. And that's the obvious reading of that.
And she loves him for that, right?
Yeah, she does.
She loves this goofball idiot who's like so self-focused on his own like manga career. He like barely notices anything else going around him.
And she even says, you know what? I'm okay with this right now. This is fine. Better than I could have hoped for. But I think having watched it a second time, and especially when I'm older, I have to think that this is probably one of the more realistic romances in anime that I've seen.
In some ways, right? Because it's like so like teen awkward.
It is teen awkward, and yet the two of them grow pretty much inseparable without doing any of the standard romantic tropes that you would expect.
That is true.
None of them. But they are things that happen in real life. Like, you rarely have the rooftop confession at sunset, or the perfect chocolate at Valentine's Day that just melts their heart. Blah, blah, blah. Because Sakura expects all those grand romantic gestures.
Oh, yeah. But instead, they just sort of slowly grow close.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's cute. I mean, that's part of what makes the show work, right? Is because it's just like this very honest, like, cute romance. Cute, light romance. It's not even a high romance.
I really noticed this when there was an episode where they were walking back home through the rain with the umbrella. You know, it's all played up for laughs, obviously, because she keeps thinking it's going to be this romantic thing as they walk along. But really, they just end up getting wet, and a car drives by and splashes them, and she's got her deadpan face, and he's kind of oblivious. And I'm like, you know, that's really what it's like walking around with my wife. That's just how it is. You're just together. And I think with that in mind, that last scene where she starts laughing, I think she realizes that. She may catch on right at the end and be like, you know, I may have gotten exactly what I wanted. I didn't get any of the shoujo stuff, but I got the end result of the shoujo stuff.
It's true.
So yeah, it's not the funniest show in the world. There's clearly funnier, but the show is really consistent in being funny, especially in the first half.
Yeah. And just like all of its little subversions are just like so good. The characters all feel very like, I mean, they're wacky characters, obviously, but they're not nobody's like way too out of the way, you know?
And no one's really mean to each other either.
Yeah, no, they all like each other.
Well, there's one character no one likes, which is Nozaki's old editor. No one likes him.
Oh, he's the worst. They did such a good job writing the worst creative partner they could possibly imagine, and they executed it to a T.
I think everyone on board knew someone like that.
Oh yeah, I'm positive, because he's so miserable.
Ugh. Which is funny because his new editor doesn't have a personality. He clearly doesn't like Nozaki very much. But he also doesn't do any of the things his old editor did. So Nozaki thinks he is the best guy in the world.
Just the best. How could you be bad?
I'd rather have this guy. But he clearly doesn't like you.
Just the part where like they meet for the first time.
Yeah.
And he's like, and Nozaki's like, you know all the characters in my manga? You actually read it? You're the best editor I've ever had. Because Mayano has like lowered Nozaki's expectations to such a low point. He's just pleased as a peach that his editor would even like read what he's making.
You're not going to take all my characters and turn them into something that you came up with?
Not going to make them a Tanuki.
We need more Tanukis.
It's true. I think we should do more Tanukis.
So many. So unfortunately, there's no second season. It really feels like there needs to be a second season. But
it'd be nice.
The manga is still ongoing, so they could at any time.
There are 9 out in the States.
They could pull one out. You never know.
Maybe. I don't know. I need to read more of the manga. Because, I mean, it goes on 9 things. And again, it's just hard doing a Yonkoma show because, like, a Yonkoma gag is so short. And even though most Yonkoma, like Nozaki-kun is, like, strings together a bunch of these Yonkoma into one, like, larger story, it's still, like, there's only so much you can do when the jokes are so short.
Yeah. Which is good because it means they can split the episodes into multiple segments. Definitely a great show. Would watch again.
And over. It's easy to just be like, let's watch Nozaki-kun.
or just watch an episode of Nozaki-kun.
Yep.
Because other than the first episode, there's no real like continuation. So yeah, if you watch or listen to the end of this episode and you still haven't seen it, even though you ignored our warning, then go watch it anyway.
Go do it, because like, come on. And so accessible. Like I can't stress that enough, because there've been several of these industry shows lately that are like about, you know, voice actors or about making anime or about making manga, but they're like they get pretty like self-referential.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah,
where you have to be a pretty hardcore otaku to like half get some of the jokes.
Right. But this you don't.
Yeah, it's very surface.
Yeah.
As long as you know like some basics about how a comic works.
It's like, have you ever even looked at a
common tropes?
Have you looked at a Clamp cover? Then you're good.
You're good. You got it.
So next time, I think we decided that we are going to watch Flip Flappers.
I like Flip Flappers. I've only seen half. I'm very excited to finish it.
I think I've only seen 2 episodes, and I really liked it, and I just forgot to watch the rest.
The animation is brilliant. Even if like we end up coming back next time and being like, the show is actually kind of like garbage,
it'll still be pretty to look at.
The animation is so good, and it came from like some unknown studio like a couple years ago.
I'm always
a year and a half ago. It just popped up on this. It was on nobody's like must watch list. Everybody was like, "What's this show?" And just ended up being like this brilliantly like weird, beautifully animated magical girl thing.
Yeah, I'm excited to actually see what happens and if it has a plot.
Yeah, I don't care if it ever really gets one. I know one was introduced halfway through because there ended up being like a rival magical girl squad or something. But that's as far as I got.
Well, I guess we will find out.
But the ending's adorable.
So yeah, if you like this new format, let us know. If you have ideas for shows that you think we should definitely absolutely watch, also let us know. Please make them 13 episodes.
Oh yeah. Don't make them longer than that. Yeah.
So there we go. We will see you next time.
Sure, of course we will. Why wouldn't we?
Always.
Why wouldn't we?